Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd. It's the 13th of April 2015. And Sierra Club had another meeting down at Bob Allen's house. Wonderful place down. Oh, it's east of well, it says north of Russellville, okay? It's near Big Piney Creek. And you see that vine climbing up there? Well, that's Lonicera sempervirens, the native honeysuckle vine I talk about. Here's the larkspur. It's a white larkspur, and it's pretty unusual around here at least, but there it seems to be pretty prevalent on the land around Bob's house. And it's in the woods, and it's shady, but these are growing both in the open area and in the shade. This is Jack in the pulpit, and it's not an unusual flower if you're in the Ozarks, but it's certainly not as common as the things that I usually show you, and I hope you enjoy seeing this. And you can see how the name might work as someone in a pulpit. That's Bob Allen up against a bluff behind his house, and that's facing him is Tom McKinney. And there's Tom. This was after the Sierra Club meeting there, state chapter, and we were out there photographing some wildflowers. So you can see Tom was getting down close, and there was a bumblebee on this shooting star flower. See the bumblebee? That's what he was photographing. I was up on the hill and zoomed down on it. And this is another interesting woodland species that also see at John Rule's place. There's the shooting star some more, and a closer view of it zoomed directly on the flower. And you see why it might be a shooting star. It's not shooting upward, but it's certainly got a rocket design, doesn't it? Beautiful, small, native species. And that's one of the streams that runs by Bob Allen's house. It's a branch of the Mill Creek. Well, you say, what, in that county? Yeah, there's one in a bunch of other counties also. Here's a yellow violet, and you see, well, some other species there with that yellow violet. And that's the spring beauty, I believe. It's in the edge there. And last week we saw several of those photos of those. But this yellow violet's a especially beautiful thing. This is comfrey, and that's not the final flower. That's going to grow up. A tall stem will shoot up. You'll have some beautiful flowers. And maybe, if I'm fortunate, I will get a picture of the comfrey when it's in full bloom. But that's the way it looked on the 12th of April 2015. That's a native a native version of the very popular flowers that have been in bloom here recently, this time of year. And this is a, excuse me again, this is a very popular tree flower. Now there's the little bugs that seem to be devouring one of those small and beautiful plants. I don't know that they're devouring it. They may be cleaning off. They may be devouring some tinier insects that are actually attacking the flower. That's a kind of buttercup, one that's pretty unusual in my experience in Fayetteville, but it's pretty common in the forest land. Here's another one of the, okay, well, when you see this, it's probably too late for the 11th annual Earth Day celebration at World Peace Well and Prairie. That's planned for Sunday, April 19th. And the show will probably not be on the air until then. And hope you came out. Till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part. Hello, it's Aubrey Shepherd on the 13th of April 2015 with a few more pictures. These are mostly from Fayetteville, Arkansas. And this is a tulip. Do you ever look in the middle? Do you look at the center of those tulips? See them, mostly we're driving by or we're walking by someplace and you see the side of them. But I like to show the real beautiful center of flowers. And this is Tratus cantia species. It's called spiderwort. They come in many varieties of pink, purple, and white. And this one's a white one now we're seeing. And they're a little less common than the varieties of purple, I think. But maybe in your yard you may have lots of white ones right now. Butterfly. Haven't been getting many butterfly pictures so far this year. A lot of wet, cold weather. But seems like one of these pops up once or twice a week, the last 2-3 weeks. And it's a little golden beauty. Trillium. This is a Ozark trillium species, a green trillium. It's not as showy as some of the other species of trillium, but it has its own special beauty. And here is the native honeysuckle vine, the Lonicera sempervirens that I've talked about for many years. It's the one you want to keep and protect in your yard. It's hard to get a picture of the open bell of this trumpet honeysuckle, it's often called. And that's about as good as they get, I suspect, for my work. Okay, you see this National Cemetery is being expanded. That's a lot on Hill Avenue. They're taking off some trees in preparation for eventually building more burial sites down on that land close to Hill Avenue. And well, they're grinding up and mulching the wood. You see 4 tiny violets in that picture. And this is the RNCIC, the fundraising organization to enlarge the cemetery. So the RNCIC raised the money to buy the land which we saw being cleared. Well, there, Beth Presley and Mary Jordan's daughter on the square on second Saturday morning. And this is a young man who's pretty popular these days in Fayetteville. He's been speaking on various and sundry subjects related to environment and peace, justice, and ecology, and taking care of veterans like his cousin who died last year. And here are some of the vendors, and they really had some beautiful things. It's not all food down there. These gourds are not for food. These have been cleaned out and processed into beautiful objects for various kinds of storage and decorative purposes. Okay, lots of babies down on the square. And some wildflowers. This is one of the people who sells some of the beautiful wildflowers that we photograph, and you too can have some of those. For instance, the Buckeyes are in that picture. Here's a couple talking about, well, things like how to get around Fayetteville without a car. That's more and more popular as people figure out new ways and use public transit. Amy Wilson and one of her dogs, and there's the mayor and his daughter, and the mayor's always on out at every activity in Fayetteville. There's John Rule, who couldn't be here this afternoon with us, and there's Carl Barnwell, whom a person you've seen on public access TV in the past, and Ruth Francis here in the center, and Carl used to produce a lot of shows on public access.Maybe he'll come back and do that some more in the future. Hope so. Interesting speaker, and has a lot of good ideas. He was one of the original founders for a radio station, the public radio station. Okay, these are those. Okay, here now there are 5 of these on this particular day. There are finally 5. You can count them there of the bird's foot violet. Till next time, enjoy the rain. See ya.